All right, YouTube. We had this new little project here trying to take care of aircraft runway maintenance. And as you can see, we've had snow. We've had quite a bit of snow. This pile here was from about a week, and it's now since melted down quite a bit. And we've had this little pittance of snow during the day today. This was cleared off this morning, and then as you can see, we just got, you know, just hardly anything. But I need to share something with you because you know, when you guys get a new property and you build a runway and things like this, you got to be able to clear it. And as you can see, there's just not hardly any snow. And I sure don't want to take the tractor out and try to clear it with the tractor. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you how this little zero-turn machine works with the plow mounted on it. I know it sounds crazy, and you're probably thinking, well, that's not going to work well. You don't get very good traction. They're not very heavy. You know, two-wheel drive. I mean, there's just a list of reasons why it won't work well. Well, I can tell you this right now. This runway is probably close to 185 feet long. Plus we have a turnaround, and then I clear all the way to that bump and then back. And I can do that with up to about 4.5 inches of snow, and I can do that in like 20 minutes. That's really fast. So I can't necessarily deliver a perfect result with such crappy amounts of snow, but when it's really snowing and I really need to go to work, I really don't have time to film. So this is kind of what we're left with because we have some daylight. So for now, we're gonna fire up the zero turn and show you how nice this works. And we'll pull it out and actually show you what we did for the wheels too for a little extra traction.
Okay, so he's gonna fire up the tractor. And we've got his lights on, even though we shouldn't hopefully need him right now. But it's super easy actually for him to get out of this garage, which is kind of insane because it is really, really tight. And we have things marked down to like the millimeter. So he's gonna clear a little bit.
Take off my mowing cap.
Yeah, he didn't take off the mowing cap. Those are the rubber chains that he found. You want to tell him about the rubber chains?
I did have to shim out my wheels about 3/8 of an inch because the clearance of the wheels on a zero turn up to the frame are extremely tight. But without them, you can do the job, but it's just so much better. And if you have any grade on your property, you're gonna need them. So without further ado, the reason I wanted you guys to see it starting is because some people probably think, well, it's a gas machine, it's not gonna start well. Well, running a machine is the best thing you can possibly do for it. Keep fresh gas in it and run it. And then I have a small little 1500 watt heater that we run in there. We have insulated walls and insulated garage doors in our garage. So without further ado.
It does stay pretty nice and warm in there. So it's not bad. The snow melts off of it and stuff kind of in between when he's clearing. And we can link to the rubber chains that he has. We got those on Amazon. So it's really easy for him to maneuver and just do it really quick. Like he said in the morning, if he obviously always is the one that leaves first. And so he can come out and at least clear a path pretty quick. And it's gonna be hard for you guys to see. I'm gonna try and walk down and like not be in his way. We really only have, this is like a dusting of snow for us. I'm gonna try and not get myself run over here. The thing that's really nice about this, and if you saw when he was going by, it's just controlled with the pressure of his feet. And when you can control that pressure, he can go out and clear in the grass. So he can go back and like clear around the chicken coop and, you know, clear spots in the yard if he needs to. And it's really easy for him to see right where the edge of the runway driveway is. And it's easier for him to get in some of the tighter spots, like he's going to go down the sidewalk right now. So if he's just talking about the swivel and being able to move, you know, as he goes. So sometimes with a bigger tractor, it's harder to clear those smaller areas or a tighter area like a sidewalk. And ours has kind of a little curve at the end. I'm gonna try and not get myself run over here because I'm not familiar with his path. But you know, when you snow plow or snow blow or whatever a lot, you get used to what your path is. So I'm just kind of trying to stay out of his path. So up here by the house, our driveway is, I don't know, I think it's over 30 feet wide. He would know for sure. And then our actual drive from down at the mailbox is supposed to be 10 feet wide, but I think there's about, I don't know, 2 feet across where it's actually 10 feet wide. Otherwise, it's quite a bit wider than that, especially down at the entrance and then up where the turnaround is. The other problem with this snow is we've both driven in and out several times today, and so the snow really gets compacted and it gets icy underneath, but those rubber chains really help. Even when he spins like that a little bit, it still gives him a better grip. And so I don't know, we're only on 7 minutes, almost 8 minutes of the video, and he talked a little bit at the beginning and he's almost done. So I'm gonna stand in here close to the heater and just let you guys kind of watch him finish up. See, that's on the grass. So he can clear me a path out to the chicken coop, and he usually clears a little spot so the chickens can get out. Our chickens are scared of the snow, so they're able to get out and peck around, which makes them happy. But it doesn't tear up the grass at all. It's worked super nice for that.
There's holes, so if you want it to go straight, just throw that pin in there, and then that locks your blade straight. You still have the breakaway action. Right here. just works super nice. I don't know exactly how long that took me, but I would expect about 12 minutes.
We're
maybe
less than 11 minutes on the video so far.
So maybe like 10 minutes of actual
run
time. And in the course of this first season, I've learned that the edges tend to push up on this rubber. I did a 1/2 inch rubber and I cut it out so that I can flip it. And I just took and replaced the hardware with a little bit longer one. This thing comes shipped from Michigan. The guy's really good. He's a YouTuber. And it cost, I think I spent like around $560 shipped, somewhere in there.
Like
shipping is going to vary a little bit, I guess. But I love it. It's a really good tool. You can adjust how far out you want it to resist with the spring action. It comes with a little pin like this. But I can't say enough nice things. I mean, it's a super nice quality thing. And by the way, if that sticker shocks you, you haven't looked at any plows. Because plows are ridiculously priced. I mean, it's incredible. Like that John Deere thing right there, that snow push, they want $280 just for the poly shoes. Not for the whole thing, just for the shoes, okay? This rubber I got from a guy for like 40 bucks on a roll, 16 feet of it. And so that's doubled up, so it's an inch thick on each side, 3 sides. So this is cheap, this is like free. Although, one word of warning, if you do this, you may want to take your deck off, because as you're pushing on this side, when you're running forward and you're pushing, it's always going off to one side or the other. That's why the plowing action is so much faster. You'll catch right here as you go up along your pile. So it's a little bit annoying. And then the second word of warning, as you can see, like this chain, see how it slipped a little bit? That's not a big deal, but it does take quite a bit of effort to put these chains on. These were about $110 shipped for us. And then I modified them by trimming off the heads of the bolts on the inside part. And then I made sure that I had clearance around here. Let's show them the clearance real quick, because we do all this stuff during snowstorms. See, there is not much clearance, but there is clearance, okay? If you don't do that, you're probably gonna take out your hydraulic reservoir. And then same thing over here. See how close that is? One could argue that it's rubbing, but that's just the support to help support this supplementary to the main support. So, without further ado, that's all you're probably gonna get right now. I wanna show this to you in a better snow. So what I'll probably do is I'll probably publish this video along with maybe some remarks about the installation. I don't think I filmed the whole installation because it was pretty simple. And if I hadn't have been pushing around 700-pound logs with this machine and bending, is that an eagle? Is that a bald eagle?
Yeah,
that's a bald eagle.
See, right?
Oh, that's
right
so cool. Man, bald eagles are huge. And they love to eat chickens.
Yeah, I should go count ours.
Chicken dinner. Yeah, that is so huge. That thing is back from us right now, probably 700-800 feet.
Yep.
It is a big bird. Holy crap. Anyway, so back to the point, guys. The other thing that's nice is if you leave the mower deck on, if you get a really light flaky snow, believe it or not, you can go along and you can mow blow, and it will blow off any residual, and it does a pretty decent job. But I've learned my lesson. Next year they come off, because I will take the shims off of this before I mow, and I will take the these things off, because it doesn't take very long. You just have to let a little bit of air pressure out, and it's good for maintenance anyway, because then you end up filling up the tires and getting them right. So definitely highly recommend. I'll link to this guy's site. Really like it. Good product. One of the cheapest ways you can clear snow. Granted, zero turns are not free. That's for sure. But the thing is,
you've already got one.
You could probably mount this to another brand, but you'd have to modify the bolts and the brackets on there. But he makes them to go directly onto the Z655, the 554 or whatever it is. I don't know the other sizes, but he's got them right on his website, and his YouTube channel will have an even better demonstration. But I was scared to death. This thing is so wide, there's no super efficient way to do it. But with more snow, it's actually a little easier, because you can use the pile to push. So, and then obviously I clear that whole area all the way out there too. And I have a huge long run. And then we have 46 feet of approach at the road. So, I mean, that's like a whole circle I'm doing out there. And I love it. This works really good. I prefer this over using the John Deere tractor. The 1025R is awesome, and it will scrape this thing clean with that carbide tip blade. But just to give you some idea, I probably got $4,000 worth of equipment just in snow clearing equipment on that. And now I didn't go pick that myself. That was with it. It was a package deal when I bought it. But if I were to go out and buy all that crap individual, I think it'd be about like $1,700 for the front push. And that's another thing to keep in mind. When this goes off the road, you need to figure out a way to get it out. And if you slip and you get into some deep snow, it is a little bit tricky. You'll have to dig it out or pull it out with a truck or a car or something like that. So just be aware on your edges. So that's where you're going to get one of the wheels off and slip. So, but beyond that, I love this thing. It's really cool. Definitely check it out. The plow is super high quality. It looks every bit as bad. It might even be better quality than some of the John Deere stuff I've got. The powder coat finish is awesome. So, and by the way, I am not an affiliate of this guy. He didn't give it to me for free. I didn't even get a discount. So I just really like it, and I think you will too. And the guy deserves a shout out because it's a sweet product. So, and like I said, I'll get you another video with some more snow. Thanks for watching, guys. Come back for more.
All right, so guys, I had to modify these washers. I'm using these as spacers. Would have been nice if I had the right size washers, but I didn't. And these were really heavy duty, so I figured they'd work well. And once I put the wheel back on, then this will locate the wheel. There's 4 of those, of course. And then basically what's going to happen is, got the wheel over here, got the chains on them. So took the air out, and then I had to take and grind these flush because the clearance is very tight around these areas. And you know, like, you don't want to rub up against the hydraulic reservoir. So I put 15 pounds of pressure back in. You can kind of see what these look like if you didn't shorten them. It's not very much protrusion there, but it's enough. And so my hope is that I can get a little extra more consistent traction for my snowplow. I leave the mower on. I could take the mower off, I suppose, but these were kind of a pain to put on because of all this, but you know, that's what you get for trying to do things stupid, especially when you have a snow push right there and a backdrag blade right there. But this thing is way more fun to use. So I just wanted to show you that real quick. If you do end up with these, the tires max out at 20 psi, so hopefully I won't have an issue with 15 psi. We'll see how that does, and I can lower the pressure. The directions were suggesting to lower the pressure if you have a bad ride. And then I threw a zip tie in the extra. I was able to get 2 extra rungs of chain out of there, and then get this in there. So that extra zip tie is holding that, so I don't have to listen to it bang and clang around and then wear and tear on the rims. But this should protect the new concrete out there. And just used a 4-inch grinder to cut those down, and this is going to space things out. And you can even see where just the regular wheel had been rubbing from time to time, probably, I'm guessing, on the inside of there, and it's pretty disappointing. But either way, this little plow has been awesome. So this is probably a supplement to the end of the video, I'm assuming at this point. And I just usually idle it so that it just you hit the row of snow as you're plowing, and it kind of pulls it to the direction you want to go. You're going down, and the snow is going that way. You just kind of hit the edge of the bank, and it pulls this thing over. And then you can also stick a pin. You can stick a pin in there, and then you just put your feet up on here. You just sit down on the seat like this, and then you apply some down pressure. And as you apply that down pressure, the snow starts to push in, and that kind of holds it down to the ground. So the only issue you run into is that, you know, these things just don't have indefinite amount of traction. And so I'm hoping this, and this is a Z655 if I didn't already mention, so it's a John Deere Z655 with the Easy Track setup. I know taking the mowing deck off would help a lot, especially with getting stuck when you go off the end of the drive or whatever you're stupidly doing, like driving around the yard. clearing snow, but it's really nice to be able to turn it on, especially with a light, fluffy snow. When you get these light dustings, and you can go around plowing, and then you can also run this, and it'll discharge out the side. So I would normally plow with it like that. And then as I'm going along, it's pushing the snow over, and then any residual that doesn't hit gets shot out the side. And then I don't know if I showed you guys this, but I got a rubber blade, a rubber guard under there. I took the steel blade off, the cutting blade off, and I just have this sandwiched in here, and it works really nice. No damage at all. I did the same thing on my snow push, except I did doubly. I did 2 half-inch pieces. And the only time I really see any excessive wear is just kind of in here. I tried to use cutting boards, and that did not work long term. But this stuff, you can see it's got a little bit of a wear pattern because it's very hard to get the snow push down flat. And the idea is you're hitting this spot here, and it becomes sort of a high point. So, but if you have a steel blade, now the best way to do it is to go and drag with this poly blade. This poly blade works awesome. I hope it wears slow because they're very expensive. Like several $100. Super rip off. You can flip them. This is the Frontier one. It's an RB 2060L. I believe it's 60 inches wide. And then of course you can angle it with this, which is a real pain in the neck. I really, really wish I had an angling cylinder on it. So at some point I'll probably do that. The John Deere 1025R. Really like this tractor. Really like this zero-turn as well. And again, you guys are welcome to think I'm a nut job for wanting to plow with this little turd when I've got this much nicer, more sophisticated and more heavy duty and 4-wheel drive and all the different variety of things that weighs, you know, significantly more than this. So it just does a lot better job. But when the 655R fails, this one picks up. And when this one takes a little bit too long, or it's a little bit more wear and tear on it than I'd like, then I just go with this. It works really good for the light snows. And I think all in, I got $110 in these chains, which they're rubber chains. So you can spend a lot less if you don't mind tearing up the driveway a little bit. Then this thing cost, I think it was like $560 shipped. I really like it. It's very good. And it's got this snapback feature, just like you would on a big one. So if you catch something, it'll snap forward. And yes, you can clear the grass. It's amazingly doesn't seem to harm it at all. And this bend, mine came that way. I'm not really sure why. I'm sure if I were to take and pry that, it'd probably straighten out. But everything has been very heavy duty on this. So I'll link to that. It's very good setup. So if you got a zero, and the other thing is you can park these zero turns in like no space, which is super nice. Whereas the tractor takes up quite a bit of room. So you just about have to dedicate a whole parking spot in your garage for this sort of thing. Whereas if you got a zero turn, you can really sneak it in and around your vehicles. So very happy with this snow plow, 60-inch snow plow. And I really like it. I'm glad I got it, even though I have this. I know you guys are definitely thinking this guy's a nut job, but very good buy. Hope you enjoyed the footage. Hope it helped to make up your mind. And the snow chains, or the chains, I'll just show you. Of course, we'll link to it, but the package I got it in was just a simple box. Nothing special. It's called SoftClaw. And yeah, so that's it. And then it comes with instructions. And it works pretty good. Pretty good instructions. Just tells you how to do it. And then of course they got a video and all that good stuff. But one way or another, guys, hope to get you a good video of using this stuff. And some year we'll build a building so I've got more room so I don't have to do this crap. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Come back and see some more. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and consider subscribing. We appreciate you guys being there. Bye.